Welcome to Two Guys, a Mic, and
A beer?
a Beer. And I am so happy, Steve and I are happy to have on an interview today, probably my all-star, the pinnacle of my career, Paul Lidel, Jason McMasters, and Ernie Peghiny.
Yes.
And I figured you would say you got it right again. And
Again, yes.
yeah, it's Ernie Peghiny.
4 for 4.
Yeah, senior.
Something
Yeah. So,
like that.
this is the highlight, like I said, of my life. Like I was telling them earlier, Jason, before you got on, it's my birthday today.
Oh
And
shit! Happy birthday, man!
can you like do that? Can I like make a sound bite of that?
Happy birthday to you. I'm trying to one up myself,
Oh
right?
yeah, no.
Happy birthday to you, everybody. Happy birthday. Is that good? Happy birthday. Oh, both of us go.
Nobody would ever believe that I had
Jason.
this group of guys singing happy
I
birthday.
heard it.
Now I'm waiting for Pete because we used to play in a band together. I was a drummer, and he always said, "You can't sing." Well, look, we found a drummer that can sing.
You're talking about Ernie?
Ernie and his dad, a senior.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they're
sing.
great.
They do a lot
good
more than
singers,
just play
actually.
drums.
Yeah, well, I know that.
But I guess we're going to get into that.
Yeah. So, this is, and I've told Paul this before, growing up, you got when you guys were out and we were all younger and everything. The favorite bands I had was, I was always a big Motley Crue fan, and I think everybody at some point was at that age. But then when we started growing up, it was Dirty Looks came onto the scene, and I was just totally fascinated by the sound of like a AC/DC type sound. And then when Dangerous Toys came out, I was just like, holy shit. And I mean, I love the bands, both of your guys' bands. I love them, and I love what you guys have been doing together. And by the way, the Dirty Looks that you've been doing, Jason, singing and fronting for that, I think you have done absolutely great, phenomenal job fronting that.
I really appreciate that, and if I may elaborate on something that you were saying, I am a giant Dirty Looks fan, and Paul's heard all my stories because we've been, working together for 30 plus years now, and when I heard Dirty Looks the first time, I was in a hotel room getting ready for a show, and me and the Toys guys, this was like early, the Toys had only been a band for a few months, and we heard Oh Ruby on the radio, and I was just like, are you guys hearing this? I didn't know anything about the history of the band or anything, and I guess Cool from the Wire hadn't even broke yet. They were just starting to push the single, and fast forward, things happen with the Toys, and we are starting a tour in Austin, and Dirty Looks was playing down the road from our gig, and we were going to play our set and then run over to the club to see Dirty Looks, and we were starting a tour with LA Guns, and I watched a couple of LA Guns songs, and I go, I got to go see Dirty Looks. Sorry, LA Guns, I'm going to see you every night for about 3 months.
Yeah, and that was,
But,
you said,
Paul,
like,
go ahead.
like 88?
but if I could interject about that same evening.
89. I can tell you the date if you like. October 11th, 1989.
Yeah, so LA Guns was still the shit kind of starting out, right?
It was cocked and loaded. Paul, you had something?
Yeah. Well, that evening was life-changing for me because Dirty Looks was playing later that night, but so we went over and saw Dangerous Toys play, and I got to see them for the first time live. They were already one of my favorite bands, but and then seeing them live, and then I ran into Jason backstage, and that was where we met for the first time. And he said, "You're Paul from Dirty Looks." I said, "You're Paul Lidel from Dirty Looks."
I still say that.
That's how I know it. Paul Lidel, Dirty Looks.
So, yeah, and then so we kept in touch, and the rest is history. But that was the night. Yeah, it was October 11th, apparently.
So many things have happened in that in the interim, but like you were saying, there's a lot of bands that have this, I'll just call it an elephant, the AC/DC thing going on, and there's so many of them, and there's some of them are derivative of other things and not just AC/DC. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in '89 that was officially came after Dirty Looks, because Dirty Looks had already, Cool from the Wire was like 87 or something, or 88,
Yeah, 88, I believe.
Yeah, and then
we were signed in '87. I joined the band in '86.
There you go.
I joined the band, and I came home and told everybody, I joined this band. They sound just like Accept.
Yeah.
Really?
It didn't occur to me at all.
Yeah, and I hear the Accept, and I love Accept as well. So there was all this cool stuff going on, and I, like I was saying, I discovered this whole AC/DC worship thing was actually happening. It just, people sometimes tend to write that off of, oh yeah, they sound like AC/DC. And when people would say that as I'm a passerby, I go, what are they called? Where do they live? What's their phone? Because I'm attracted to that. Yeah. Anything that has that,
sorry to interrupt. I call it stomp rock.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Stomp rock.
That's something to that.
That's
And I'm sorry. I was just going to try to try to include Ernie and Senior in some of this.
I'm sitting here just amazed, listening to Paul and Jason. On
well, I don't want
horns being passed around.
I don't want to ignore the fact that the only reason that I'm talking to Jason and probably Paul is just the fact that Ernie, you and I have kind of connected, and I really love his stuff, and his stuff sounds a lot, the call out stuff sounds a lot like the Dirty Looks. And to me, that's amazing. I mean, at his young age, what he's done so far and everything he's doing, and then the fact that he has, his dad's pedigree behind him, and then he's always talking about you, Jason, how gracious you are, and talking to him, and Paul, you as well, as kind of the mentors that he has that he can reach out and speak to. It's amazing. And
you guys, I'm sorry. You guys have really treated Ernie like so cool. I mean, I was like really stoked that you guys were, giving him advice and being his friend and talking to him. I really appreciate that, and I thank the both of you for that.
Well, it's accepted and appreciated very much, and big hugs to both of you guys. The truth is that anyone who is in love with rock and roll is part of the tribe, and there's people in the world that don't understand that. Mm-hmm. So, it's whether they're in the audience or they're a creator of music of any kind, that's a romance that obviously both of you guys have with a certain a certain style as well as, and I've seen Ernie do a bunch of different things. I know Ernie, as well as you, are well versed in a lot of style. It's not just stomp rock, four on the floor, hard rock, AC/DC influenced, dirty looks, coveted type of a thing. It's obviously there's more layers to your onion, but no, it's easy to make someone's day, especially when you realize they're just an extension of something that you love, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
but thank you for saying that, and I can't wait to to be closer to you guys. So this is a good
Absolutely.
opportunity to just kind of meet everybody and
Yeah. I mean,
say hi to
We
Paul.
Sure.
Hi, Paul.
I was impressed. Well, first of all, by Ernie's abilities and vocal and guitar and drums and all that, and then I was equally impressed to meet him as a person. I think you're a really cool dude. So
oh, he is.
Thank you,
He's
Paul.
great.
Thank you.
Now, have all three of you talked about maybe doing a song together, or just anything like that, or
that'd be killer.
any music
Talk-
journey?
Talked about it, but
Talked about it, and I don't think it's been sort of written in blood yet. I don't think that it's happened. But I secretly I've going. It'd be cool. How could we make that happen? What can we do here?
Yeah.
I've actually thought about, in writing some new hot shot material. I haven't brought it up to Paul or anybody, but it might be cool to just like special guest Ernie on some backup vocals on a chorus,
be
or,
fun.
a couple of choruses or some. I don't think it would be.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
would be really great, and we could cross pollinate this thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking to
There you
two
go.
guys who'll be glad to share your music as well.
Oh.
So we on our radio shows that we do. So
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah, it's senior Ernie, senior. I mean, sorry, I don't mean any disrespect by that, but I don't
Oh,
know.
that's fine. You're good.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your background real quick, and then maybe we can get into Ernie, and then we can go to Paul and Jason, if that's okay with you guys. Is that all right with you
Sure.
guys? Okay.
Yeah.
I basically gravitated to music very, very early on, stealing the car keys from my mom and going out to the car in the driveway and listening to 8 tracks of
Yeah.
classical music and just all Johnny Cash, whatever was there. And then I got turned on to, from my older sisters, Alice Cooper, on down the line, whatever was out that was really cool back then. And I just gravitated towards it. It was almost like and it wasn't just Alice Cooper. It wasn't like every song was great. I gravitated towards certain melodic stuff that I just really, that gave me goosebumps as a little kid listening to and comforted me. And that just grew with age. And at age 16, I went on the road with a heavy metal show band called Guest Star over in Melbourne, Florida. And that's where I really got a taste of this is the shit. These are the guys that I want to be with. It raised the bar. Because I had fooled around with jamming with people before that and this, that, and the other, and they wanted to play other styles of music that I wasn't into. These guys were right off the bat delivering the goods, Judas Priest and everything else, Montrose. But did that, moved to Orlando, was in a band called Gypsy Child, who was run by Jody Hudson. And one of my great friends, God rest his soul, Riff West, was dating her for a long time. He was a bass player in Molly Hatchet and Foghat.
Oh, look at
Um,
that.
yeah. So Riff had a big hand in telling Pat Travers about me. Pat said to him, "We're looking for a drummer," and he said, "I got the drummer for you, Ernie Peghiny." And I went and auditioned and the whole bit and got the gig and
Oh, so
toured.
you were
And
you were playing drums for Pat.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
for some
yeah.
reason, I thought maybe you were playing guitar. I guess that's my mind's eye.
No, that's in the later part of the story, which I'll jump to real quick. I got tired of the drums. I was going through the motions. When I was playing with Les Dudek the last time. Um, I was at my end. I just really it was like to hit a crash cymbal was a chore.
Yeah.
So, and I'd always written music and wrote for guitar on piano. So I had all this music that I had done this through the years. So I transposed a lot of the music over to guitar from piano, and started writing and recording stuff.
And
But
you read and write music?
no, not at all. I just listen and hear it and that kind of
Jason,
thing.
Paul, Paul, you probably, I mean, you teach guitar, so I'm sure you read.
Yeah, but I learned by listening
Yeah, it's
and
a
off
Ernie thing
records,
right there.
and but I know how to read.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm a good reader, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I understand how to do it.
Jason,
I do not. I never have.
and
I don't condone dropping out of high school, but yeah, I dropped out and
but I think this interview, like here, I mean, a lot of people think that you hear I mean, to you guys are my heroes. You guys are guys I've had posters on my wall, growing up. But yet when you hear at everything that you guys have done up to this point, right? And then it's like, yeah, no, we play by ear, we play by sound, which is something that Ernie and I have talked about. And he's like, yeah, that's the way I do it. And I'm like, gee, Christmas must be nice. But
I'm sorry to interrupt. I asked Paul for a guitar lesson. This would have been ages ago. I don't know, 20 years ago or something. I said, I want to, the way I want to remember it is I'm
You could
sitting
teach me
around
about
with
music and theory and all that.
yeah, I wanted to learn about it. And, this is over 20 years ago. It might have been not long after Paul moved to Texas, but I think I was sitting there with the guitar and I was like, come on, Paul, give me
Yeah, this is way early on. Yeah.
give me a free one. Give me a free guitar lesson. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, I was shocked. It's like, what? You don't want to give your buddy a guitar lesson?
I said you're doing fine as you're doing. I don't think you should really goof it up.
Yeah, I think that what you told me.
I was afraid it would poison the well. Really?
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, like the way I think that you said the way that you write songs now. I think that if you knew what was correct.
Yeah.
If you knew what the 12 notes, how the 12 notes and the harmonies work together, and the chords are supposed to work together, it would fuck up how you write.
Yeah. Right.
And I was taken aback, but then I understood it, and then I realized that, hey, time out. I just wanted to learn something, right? It wasn't that, I have to know, all of the scales and all of the modes and all. It wasn't really that. It was just I just wanted to learn something.
Show me a
Paul was pretty adamant about nope.
Yeah. Well, that's
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't want to goof up what was going on already there.
Well, maybe it's a good thing you didn't, because I love everything.
I learned on my own, and later
Jason
on actually started teaching. So
Jason is an extraordinary ear. That's I've been teaching guitar a long time, and that goes way past like most of my students. That just innate ability to be able to hear something and know what it is.
And Jason, you're quite the bass player too. I mean, I know that you play the bass, right? And
yeah, bass is my first instrument, Yeah, that's all Gene Simmons' fault. But he's not the only one. I mean, I fell in love with a lot of bass players, and then I fell in love with singing bass players, which is kind of a thing that doesn't really get a lot of fair shake. People forget about Philip Lynott, and they forget about fucking Paul McCartney. Sometimes they just forget that he's a bass player. But there's a bunch of them, and they're great. It's a different animal. It's not like playing guitar where you just strum a chord and start singing. It's a different kind of a thing, especially if there's an actual bass line in the song. Anyway, and then I picked up guitar, and I got to admit, I when I write, I'm writing on guitar because all the notes are there, and it's hard. I've written songs on bass before, but it's a bit awkward because you don't get the full.
Yeah.
There's no major or minor unless you're playing, scales, and bass chords are fun, but they sound like buffalo farts, so.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about playing bass and you're also talking about writing songs, I guess it's all three of you since you're all three singers. When you write songs, do you put music first, or do you sometimes write lyrics and put music with the lyrics? How does that come about?
Ernie, tell us.
Yeah, Ernie,
Yeah,
we'll start with you, Ernie.
Correct, Steve. All four of us, because I wouldn't be doing it.
Okay,
He wasn't doing
sorry
it.
about that.
So, you're good, Steve. Just had to put that out there. Always music first, because I didn't really start singing the way I do when I started writing. That makes sense. I didn't want to sing. I wanted to be on guitar and do the leads. I wanted to be a lead player. So, but I bought myself a car last year, and within a couple months, I was ripping out Dirty Looks tunes. And one night, I sang to my dad, and he's like, "Oh my God, don't change a thing. You've got it."
I remember that night.
It was Soft of Super Deluxe, the first song.
That's
Bring Me Down.
Yeah.
Bring Me Down. Dirty Looks.
All right.
So yeah,
Excuse me.
that's when I started. Within a month or two after that, Settle for More, the first EP I put out was done. And I did that, like, I remember weeks, pretty much. It was like 3 weeks and it was ready to go.
Yeah.
So ever since then, though, I still write the music first because it's always guitar. I always want my songs when it comes down to the rock, the straightforward stuff. I want the guitar to be the bass, because that's what the music is. It's not like other genres where like everything else is the background and it's centered around the vocals. I want the guitars to be in your ears like this and the vocals to be like there.
Yes.
Everybody's different when you're putting that together. It's not always, for me anyway, it's not always the music or the germ of the guitar riff or the chord structure or whatever. Sometimes it can be you'll have a hook. Sometimes it's a melody. It's not even lyrics or a guitar. It's just a vocal melody, and then you're searching for this cool phrase that fits that melody. Or you have this phrase with no melody. See what I'm saying? So it can start, the germ you can just bump into it one day, or watching a movie, somebody says something that is attractive and you write it down, and in every direction in the room I'm in now, there's little pieces of paper with shit scrawled all over it that's future song ideas, and I think that, not speaking for anyone else in here, I think that when the process is different, that's really my answer. It's not the same all the time, but when I'm collaborating with people, like when Paul, just example, would send me, something that has a click track and his guitar, which that's usually mine and Paul's process. If he has something that's he's got a jam and he's got a tempo that it kind of adheres to, he'll just send me that. And most of the time, that will inspire me to write a certain thing and have a certain snarl to the lyric. And I love what Paul does. And it's always been really easy. If it's me and Paul writing the song, and there's not these other entities or like masks or costumes we have to wear to fit what works with other people in a certain group, like if me and Paul are involved with Broken Teeth, or we're writing a Dangerous Toys song, or what, you know what I mean, we have to kind of think about, well, how are they going to react to these colors? If we show them a painting that we painted, there needs to be something for them to add to it.
Right.
But if it's me and Paul, we have this unwritten language where we know what it's supposed to fucking sound like.
Mhm.
So if he sends me something, he already knows what I'm going to do on it. And I haven't even done anything yet. There has been times where that germ, whether it be here's a song idea, here's a lyric idea, here's a melody, here's a whatever it is, doesn't inspire me at all. And I'm just like, next. It's easy to ignore if it's not inspiring me. I rarely find myself, well, let me go back and listen to all those again. See what I mean? It's kind of like, let's keep moving. You got anything else? Yeah. And that's not just Paul. That's with anybody that I collaborate with. So, but it doesn't always have to be lyrics before or guitar before or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was really my answer.
Yeah, when Steve and I played, I would always be the lyrics guy and then try to add music to it. But obviously, that's not the right thing to do, because I'm on this end, you guys are on that end. So there's that.
That's a difficult way to shoehorn, especially for a rock song.
Yeah.
If you have the lyrics first, but yeah, I'm also most of the time it's going to be the music first, and then if I'm singing, I'll sing like a scat vocal over the top of that.
Like a skippy-doo type thing.
Just dummy words.
Scatting over it. Yeah.
I learned that well, actually from Henrik, because
I could hear that actually.
when he was putting together songs, he would always, be scatting a vocal over the top of it, and then he would take that vocal and add lyrics to it, and so most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, that's how it works for me.
So
That's crazy.
That seems common.
I was gonna say that's the same exact way I've always written my vocals. Always just.
So what you guys are saying, the way I did it was not good, and the way you guys do it is good. So
No, we didn't say that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So
No wonder we didn't get out of the garage.
yeah, no wonder. We only had 12 CDs sold or whatever.
No, it was a 12-pack.
Yeah. So Ernie, COVID comes around, you put out Call Out, right? You did all this out of your bedroom, which is like, really? I mean,
Yeah.
And I know you, Ernie, you and I have talked about this, and it's like, man, this kid's how old? I mean, he's plays all the instruments, and he's very sure of the sound he wants, and he only wants it a certain way. And if it can't be done that way, he's not going to commit to it. And I respect that. I get that. And then he does all this. It's just like, well, COVID happened around. I didn't have anything to do, so I just kind of threw this EP together. Okay, great. Thanks, Ernie. Thanks for making me feel bad. But, okay. And then, so the way I understand it is, Paul, he sent maybe a snippet to you. Is that right?
He sent me a message on Facebook Messenger and said, I'm a fan of Dirty Looks, and he also sent me a picture of Ernie Sr. with Henrik, and along with a recording. And I heard the recording, and I loved it, and I shared it on the Dirty Looks page right away. And and everybody reacted to it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably about the time that we sat down and talked to you the first time. It's
That's how we
very
found
close
Ernie.
around that. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's kind of how we kind of heard of Ernie.
Yeah.
So then you had that connection, and then Jason, you got hooked up just through Paul, or
I
was
I
Paul just
want to
like, you got to hear this?
I want to say that Paul might have sent the link to me, but I missed it somehow. And I got a message from a guy in the New England area named Troy Audette. And I think I'm saying that right. And he was just raving about it. And then I went back to Paul. After I heard it, I went back to Paul, and Paul was like, I thought I sent you that a while back. And I fucked up. I just missed it. But I caught up as fast as I could, and I made sure Ernie knew that I was on his team, and I started hooking up with Ernie and making sure that if there was anything that I could send him or help him with or anything that that
Well,
kind of brought us here today.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a nutshell of how it all went down.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I think Ernie, we did an interview, I think, and then after the interview, you and I talked. Got it probably an hour and a half, and we were just talking about everything, And then Jason, you got brought up, and he was like, "Dude, Jason sent me this box, and he calls it like I think you said it was a press kit or a press box," and he's like, "You don't know the amount of shit that he is in and all these CDs," and I was like, "Well, and then you do a deep dive, and you're like, "Holy shit!" And
It
he
was
was
a
like,
Mc-
"I'm kidding." He was
it
like,
was a
"Dude, can you hear
McMaster
this?" It's
box
like,
set.
click, click,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, "These are
Yeah.
all CDs. I got shirts. I got, And he just spoke very highly of you and Paul, that time. And I cherish that conversation, Ernie, because it's just nice and it's refreshing.
It's I said it earlier, but I just realized I said it earlier. It's really easy to make someone's day. You know what I mean? If they have respect for you, it's really easy to make someone's day. So I was hoping to make Ernie's day that day. So
Oh, you did.
You did, man.
yeah.
It was like it was Christmas morning when it came, and I was like,
Mhm.
holy, because it was so heavy too,
Mm.
I'm like, my goodness, and yeah, and I opened it up, and it just kept coming, and I'm like, wow, I got a lot of new music to endeavor in.
Yeah, Ernie,
And
Paul,
I was concerned. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was concerned because I may have even asked you in a message, like, because, it's not a crime that you're so young, but, young people don't really do CDs or vinyl much. So, I mean, they must be really proud of, excluding Ernie, they must be really proud of their thumbnail of MP3 collection as opposed to a vinyl, record collection.
yeah.
Look, I have 10 trillion songs. And I go, yeah, I don't have a house big enough to have 10 trillion songs the way I like my music.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Please go ahead.
No, you're good.
You were talking about vinyl, and I'm looking over your shoulder, and to me it looks, are those CD or tapes in a tape rack behind your
Over here,
your other side?
beyond my keyboard, those are cassettes. And then
Yeah.
this would be my left shoulder. Those are CDs.
Are they CDs? Okay, because it
Those are
kind of look like
CDs.
the old school tape.
Cassettes are down here
I see.
low.
Oh yeah,
And then then CDs are over here, but that's not even.
Yeah.
That's my thumbnail of CDs. That's just a start.
Yeah,
And I have vinyl. I have vinyl in a couple of different rooms.
yeah, I can only imagine. And I've
Yeah.
got some questions that I would like to go over and ask all you guys. That refers to a lot of that stuff. And again, I don't want to take up a lot of your guys' time. I appreciate this. but I really would love in the future maybe to be able to sit down and digest. Jason, maybe sit down and talk with you again, get some more one-on-one time and
No
talk.
problem.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's great. Paul, you've always been so gracious to me. I would like to sit down and talk to you guys again. Ernie, Senior, I mean, I would love to
Absolutely.
sit down and talk to you guys. So I'm trying to navigate this so we try to include everybody in this without trying to cut anybody off. So I apologize if I'm not doing a good job for that.
No, you're okay. I have some questions for young Ernie,
Yeah,
if that's okay. If I interview,
go ahead.
if I interview Ernie, would that be okay?
yes, yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, I have a podcast, so I'm always interviewing people anyway.
What is your podcast?
It's called the Talk Louder podcast.
I'm not aware of that, but I am now.
Yeah, just you can go to the website or any digital platform, and it'll be there. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can just listen in the car.
Yeah, great.
It's been going. It's a pandemic thing. It started during the lockdowns. Ernie, how old are you? 21?
21 this December.
21 coming up. Okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's obvious that Big Ernie sort of like got you into this, but like say 10 years ago when you're like 10 or 11, what are you listening to at that time?
Gosh.
Good question.
I never listened to, gosh, must have been sixth grade. I never really listened to rock and roll on my own at that time, but when I did, it was, of course, with my dad. Go back to maybe age 6 or 7, we'd be listening to Judas Priest, Grinder Live, Metal Meltdown on the way to One State Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that one recording. I mean, I remember another snippet, listening to Broken City, Spread Eagle. I mean, those were the songs that were just, my ears were hurting. I couldn't even sit in the front. So I was in the back and just the frickin' subwoofers or,
And what year,
chaos.
what, just to put a date on it, that would have been like 2012 or something.
Oh, something like that.
Okay. So Big Ernie's playing you classic metal and classic rock and you're into that. But what are you 10 or 11 what are you into? Had you bought any, what were you, did you have like a record player in your room or a radio or anything like that?
I didn't know that this was my thing at the time because
You
I
weren't
didn't.
playing an instrument either?
I was, but
Oh,
at
good.
the moment,
Okay.
I didn't have access to my drum kit. That's all I had. So
Okay.
I played soccer to fit in with everybody else, which I despised. But I had to do what I had to do.
That's what sports is for until you find your guitar, right?
Yes.
It's a bonding
Yeah.
it's a bonding moment for you you don't know what's
Said
happening
that
to
right.
you inside until you know what's happening to you inside. It's like
Yeah.
it's not your parents' fault either. I mean, I played little league baseball and football and was on the track team and all this stuff, and it broke my father's heart that I was terrible, that I'm not sporty spice, right? And so when I just about probably 12, 13, 14, it just turned into I have to become Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
That's my version of I know what I needed to do,
For sure.
And as soon as I got a guitar, it was like I didn't care about sports, and the bonding with my father was quite different after that.
Yeah.
So,
I remember, I got handed my first drum kit when I was 5 because I
Wow.
was already tapping on stuff. My sister got handed her piano at the same time, but that she
Okay.
never played. So I was always playing on it, teaching myself, whatever. And growing up through elementary school, Um, I was always playing. I'd bring my drum kit to school. I remember my first gig was when I was like 6. Played for the full school, and I was
Wow.
like the cool kid of elementary school. All
Wow.
the fifth graders. I was like in first grade. All the fifth graders would be, hey Ernie, and you know, all that silliness. And everybody would come to me in fascination because I could play Crazy Train on the xylophone. I
Not
mean,
everybody can do that. So.
it was silliness. It really was, and
Oh yeah.
but
I finally
but
got.
with no lesson of scales or anything, and just being able to pick out notes by ear at that age, that's amazing. Look, if you don't mind fast forwarding, just kind of jumping back, you're writing these pretty fucking great hard rock songs, and you're 20, and I think about uh, the songs I wrote when I was 20. Oh, I didn't write any songs when I was 20. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
So
sure.
you're kind of like this. Well, and I'm sure there's wonder kinds like you all over the place, and that's great. But the fact that you want to play in bands, and you do play out with bands, and you play guitar and you play drums and you write songs and you record them, and all this stuff, it's like you're always going to have a gig if you want it.
Yeah.
If you want it, you're always going to have a gig, and that's really amazing. Are you writing any kind of like things that are not of the persuasion that sort of how me and Paul and you are related to the dirty looks and the call out and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Do you, because I've seen videos where you're playing like Pantera songs and shit. You're into heavier things and thrash metal. And
Uh,
am I right? Am I close?
yeah. I That's me on drums these days. I'm in a band called Knockdown. Local. We have one single out. It's called Middleman, which I was just producing for this band. They're a group of friends of mine, and
Mm-hmm.
they came to me because I produce around the area. I've got a little record label thing going on, and
It's a little one, right?
at the moment, yeah, it's
You're being
little,
too humble, but okay.
but yeah, I could say past couple of years I've gotten into the heavier stuff, but
Mm.
it's not something I would write. It's nothing I write.
You
Oh,
and I were
okay.
talking, and you said that you were trying to do a what is it? You said country or a, and I was like, I don't hear country in this, and you're like, well, it's more kind of a solid rock, and your E3 stuff. Oh, your E3. I'm sorry, that's what it should.
Southern rock,
But it's
I would say.
Ernie. That's what you say. But it is a little bit different from the call out and the knock, the group you're with now. Knocked out,
Knockdown.
knocked out, knocked out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, back to the
I've got too many
knockdown.
things running through my head. But
You're
yeah.
good.
So
Slow
yeah, so
down,
that
Pete. You're good, man. Um, the knockdown stuff is, yeah, I was just producing, and their drummer couldn't play the stuff, the double pedal stuff and whatnot, which I don't ever have my drum set up to play. I've never actually practiced drums my whole life. It's tapping on the school desk or on the steering wheel, or you don't need drums to practice on. So, but I ended up becoming their drummer because they wanted me to record the song on drums, and ever since then I've been getting into the double pedal stuff on drums whenever we're rehearsing. I gravitate towards the Vinnie Paul, Will Hunt, um, snippets. Yeah, we'll just keep it there. Will Hunt,
Good.
Evanescence, and Vinnie Paul. But in terms of writing, the call out stuff is the heaviest I'll go.
Well, I appreciate you kind of filling me in, because I'm kind of following you from afar. Whenever you post something, I'm like, whoa, that's pretty heavy, just because all I had to compare it to is the call out stuff.
Right.
So I just
Okay.
wanted to go. And, you've shared me a couple of things that were brilliantly written that I don't think they had vocals on them yet. And they were kind of just like I've shared some stuff with you that's kind of like yacht rocky, kind of Elton John sounding 70s style, mellow, easy listening kind of song crafting, 70s Elton John kind of a vibe, which is totally my thing. And you shared me a couple of things that I don't think had vocals on them that were beautiful, that were like, and it wasn't country, just to kind of get that out in the room. It wasn't country. It was just like I said, it was more like, AM gold. It was like 70s greatest hits, 7 p.m. on a Thursday night radio jam, kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I love, it's hard to write a song like that that's really good.
Well, thank you.
Especially lyrics and things too. Are you still doing stuff like that too?
I'll clarify. I think I remember the song I sent you that was in that vein. That was just an instrumental I wrote for my girlfriend months ago. Which that sort of melody of that song, it's sort of grown into a bunch of different things, but I'm working on an actual song with vocals for that same melody derived idea I have.
Cool.
But that would definitely fall more into I call it Weather Channel music stuff.
Right.
I've never sent you this.
That's spot on right there.
I've never sent you this, but it's it's like Local on the 8s, 1995, type music. And I've put out albums of this stuff. It's not anywhere at the moment because I didn't have enough money to keep this stuff streaming at the time. This was years ago. But I used to write a lot of instrumental piano music, which could fall into the that stuff, which is another thing that I copy from my dad because he does the same stuff.
Awesome.
Years ago, though, I mean, way before me. I'm not so original when I'm sitting next to him. But I just do my own thing and try and make something new out of it. But it's definitely all inspired by my father, which the rock stuff. If you'd ever ask what the influence is for the rock stuff, I could say Dirty Looks, I could say AC/DC, but I also go by my father, which I can't speak for him on that stuff because none of it's out at the moment. But it's something I've listened to all of my life. So, I mean, growing up in the car, that was the other stuff I'd listened to. So.
Well, you figured out all of Paul Lidel's tricks.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, you kind of did, dude. You kind of did.
You're awful quiet, Paul. Do you got something to ask?
Ernie and I have something in common in that we both started on drums.
Yeah.
So, and we were talking earlier about like sports, and when I was playing football, I would come home from football practice, be too tired to play my drums, so I would pick up my guitar, and that just sort of grew from there. So so we have that connection with the drums.
That's awesome.
And piano, actually.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Nice. That was one thing that I've tinkered around with, but I find I don't have patience for something like that. But probably not the talent for it either. But
what, piano?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me on piano. I know I have one sitting very close by, but you don't want to hear me on it.
You're just trying to make me feel better now.
I can barely. No, I'm telling the fucking truth. I can barely play chords. So.
Yeah, and again, like I was saying, That is so inspirational. If there's anybody, like Ernie that's starting out, of course, Ernie's not starting out, but anybody that's starting out, and it's, when I was growing up listening to music and you hear people playing, it's like, oh my, I've been the guitar player that we had, his name was Marshall Houseworth. I meant just I can remember him telling me stories about, he said, well, I got this guitar and I brought it home and I put it on my bed and I didn't know how to play it. I just looked at it and he's like, well, fuck, what do I do now? And then, he started taking lessons and all this. And, but it's so inspirational to know that that is sort of I don't want to say myth, but you don't really have to learn theory of music, or you don't need to really understand, chords or scales to do what you guys have done. I mean, obviously that's what you said, and it's amazing to me.
Mhm.
It really is, because again, Paul, your guitar playing, like I've said, one of my top two guitar players.
And I appreciate that a lot.
Well, and then Jason, your Dangerous Toy stuff. It's just, I can remember when that album came out, I was just like, holy shit. And
Wasn't
I
it
was
like 87,
No, 89.
89?
Yeah, it would have been late '89. And so, what was the first video? Maybe "Teasing and Pleasing" came off that album.
That was summer '89.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
And
record was out in May, and the first video was like July.
Yeah.
I guess one of the questions I like to ask, what was it like seeing your video on MTV? I mean, you're just turning it on. I mean, how did you react to it?
Well, I want to say Paul had videos on MTV before I did.
Really?
But that's probably
with
true.
Dirty Looks, yeah.
Yeah.
The seeing Dirty Looks on Headbangers Ball for the first time was a really surreal experience. We were told that the video was going to be on, and video after video was not it, and it was coming up to the end of the show, and we're like, oh, maybe it's not coming on to, and then the very last one, it came on, and it just seemed unreal. It was a really cool, wild experience.
Was it Ruby?
It was Ruby.
Okay.
Yeah, that was your first video, your first release single, right?
Yeah, and that
88.
that experience is really hard to describe, but other than surreal, it's like it just something. It seemed strange, but cool. I mean, really cool.
So that would have been like late '87, early '88, maybe mid '88 when that came out.
Yeah, I guess so. And we had just finished like our first tour around the country, and was home on a brief break when it came on. So like I was at a party, and my friends were having this party for the Headbangers Ball thing for it, and so I was around a bunch of friends. It was a cool experience.
My story is a ditto on that. Would have been, I don't think we were a brand new band. We didn't have anything out prior. Like I said a minute ago, the record came out and we hadn't even done a tour yet. We may have done, a couple of little things, but nothing substantial as far as road work. And had some people over because we were told, just like Paul said, we were told, and this would have been, it's July or something, '89. And I'm in my apartment and had a bunch of friends over. And Paul Paul's right. It was like, because it's sort of like this. Wait, that's a weird feeling because you know, okay, I was in a warehouse with a bunch of cameras, and I had seen like a couple of different edits of it on a VHS tape. Someone FedEx to from the management's office, overnight, so we could kind of look at it and go, oh, I don't know what I'm really looking for, but somebody's calling the shots. And if there was a shot in there that I didn't like, I didn't know that I didn't like it until, you know what I mean? It's like we were still, it was that kind of, opinion was, I was just happy we were making music and someone wanted to make a video of a song that we wrote, was kind of that's part of the surreal too, is the journey to being on this new thing that was the biggest trend at the time, which was, hard rock on TV, just like, wow, it's just like a radio, but it's your TV and they're playing all this stuff that it was an interesting time.
I have to add,
And
if I could,
of course,
that all those countless hours of practicing and writing and everything, from early teenage or later teenage years, I guess, and then, up to that point was all almost with that goal in mind. Is like at that time, the goal was to get signed and get a video on MTV. So that was like a cool check off, that bucket list item kind of thing as well.
Did
Very
any of you guys do the Hollywood scene? The strip and
no, no, that's an interesting. I think Paul spent some time out there, but it was at kind of after the fact, and I can let him elaborate.
Yeah.
But the Toys was a new band. I mean, we got a deal 6 months after I entered the picture. Like I don't know if you know the legend, but Toys used to be called Onyx with a girl singer, and they lose the singer, and they get this thrash metal guy, me, to fill in until they find a permanent singer. Well, during that interim, somebody saw us and went, hey, here's a bag of money. Let's go make a record. I was in the band 6 months and I was hit by a bus kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And shit just doesn't happen. Like, it was the overnight sensation term kind of turned it into a real thing.
Can I elaborate on your story?
Of course. Yeah.
Because I only heard the actual story when we were just recently in California, and I was talking to Tim Heine, who is Dangerous Toys manager, and he was recounting hearing the cassette of Dangerous Toys for the first time. He would listen to these cassettes that would stack up on his desk. He would listen to them on his way home in his car. And he told me that he heard this Dangerous Toys, which was recorded live from a live broadcast on the radio. Somebody had recorded that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, I don't even think Toys sent it to him.
That's true.
And so he said he heard that. He pulled over and called his office and said, find out who these guys are. Yeah. I need to sign them. They're going to be the next big thing. He told me that, and it was like so cool hearing that story and how absolutely convinced he was from just hearing, and it was Teasing Pleasing.
It was,
live.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool to hear, from the horse's mouth.
I think we only had about 4 or 5, original songs at that time, because the Toys, Onyx, which is prior to my joining, was kind of the house band at this club that's now defunct called the Back Room. They were kind of the house band, they would sell it out every weekend and yada yada. So here's this new guy coming in, and a lot of their constituents were, arms crossed in the back. Who the fuck is this guy? Kind of thing. And then a week later, it was, sliced bread, right?
Yeah.
But Paul's not wrong on that. We were a new band. We didn't play the Strip. We played like a nucleus of like 3 different bars between here and San Antonio for a period of just a few months. Like I joined and was all cover songs in October of '87. We didn't even have a band name. A couple weeks later, we started calling it Dangerous Toys because the booking agent wanted to book us at this club in town, the local, the Watering Hole. It's called the Back Room, like I said. And we didn't have a band name. What do we, he wants to book us a gig. What are we going to call this shit? So we just come up with a quick name. Dangerous Toys. That's fucking terrible. We'll change it later. And it stuck. So
That's great.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So,
Ernie Senior, did you ever do any videos or anything like that? Did you ever get involved with any of that stuff back in the day?
No, I didn't.
No live recordings or anything like that you're aware of?
Yeah, there's some stuff on YouTube, some videos like in Oregon. There's my first freaking gig with Pat was on the beach, and we headlined the gig. It's Memorial Day weekend. Someone put a fucking palm tree right in the front of the stage. So it just so happened the guy that videotaped the whole show, you couldn't see.
I already see where this is going. They couldn't see you,
I
right?
caught more flack because of that fucking. I hate palm trees.
now we know why.
And you live in Florida.
But yeah, I never had any videos. Everybody that I was with never had any interest in doing it. And of course, everything that I did was, from being with Pat, that was like in the mid 90s, and then being with Les was late 90s and 2002. So it was kind of probably too late, for those guys to have done anything. I don't know. But I want to mention I was also in a band called Ghost with Paul Chapman. It was his band.
Mm-hmm.
I played drums in his band for a very short time.
Was he living in Florida?
Yeah, he was living in Melbourne.
Okay.
UFO,
Right.
Paul Chapman?
Yeah.
I'm
Paul
sorry?
Chapman from UFO, right? Yeah.
Yes, you're correct, sir.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And then
I just had Andy Parker on my podcast.
Oh, did you? No kidding.
Ironically, Andy Parker, drummer UFO, lives in Granbury, Texas, where Scott Dalhoover, guitar player from Dangerous Toys, lives.
Oh,
They're
God.
neighbors and they don't know each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Andy Parker lives in Granbury next to Scott for 20 years. They don't know each other. Pretty
That's
weird.
fun.
Granbury's not a big town either.
There's probably 150
Wow.
people there.
Everybody keeps to themselves. Yeah, I also played. There was an interesting guy I played with back in the '80s. Mike Ruffinello, God rest his soul. He was with the Good Rats up in New York. I don't know if you remember that.
Love the
name
Good
or
Rats.
not. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sounds
And Mike,
familiar.
I was in a band with him called the Robin Chase Band. It was a female singer, and we just did hard rock and stuff. But killer guitarist, just a shredder kind of guy. But he passed away, I don't know, about 5 years ago or a little bit more. But I do want to say, Paul, I was at a keg party back in '88,
Okay.
right? And someone had their car, it was outside and all, kegs lined up, and we're all drinking, having a good time in a field. And I heard "Cool from the Wire" on Metal Shop from a
Metal
distance
Shop. That was a
for the
great.
first time. I'd never heard it before.
Okay.
And I heard it, and I'm like, I could, just that sound. I couldn't really distinguish what was going on in the song, but just the actual sound. And I gravitated towards it. I went closer and closer and closer. And as soon as I, got it, of course, I stayed there and just like, don't anybody touch this fucking stereo. So I waited until the guy got on after the tune. I caught your name, Dirty Looks,
Hmm.
and then went immediately to a record store and got the cassette. And
That's
I've
cool.
been
Can
up.
you tell me, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell me the story of how the picture was taken that Ernie sent to me?
Okay, yeah,
You and Henrik?
yeah. I did a show with Pat. We were on a tour, and we played in Chicago, and we were doing 2 nights at this place, and we had a night off. Well, no, we didn't have a night off. It was 2 nights in a row. So after the first night, the very next morning, which is the morning of the next show in Chicago, we had to get on a plane and fly to Kansas City, Missouri. And so a guy with a little sign at the airport, Pat Travers Band. So we get in the car, he's taking us to the venue, and I said, who's on the list? Who's playing? And he named off and he said Dirty Looks. And I said, you have to show me where their trailer is, please. So we got on the premises around back and all that, all the trailers. And Dirty Looks' trailer was, right next to us. So I dumped my gig bag real quick and went over, knocked on the door. The manager opened the door for Dirty Looks, and he thought I was from Metal Edge. And I said, no. I'm the drummer with Pat Travers. I'm a big fan of Dirty Looks. I want to see if I can meet the guys. And as soon as I said that, he yelled down the hallway, Henrik! And Henrik came out, and we just kicked back and sat down at this little kitchenette for probably about 20 minutes talking and whatnot.
That's cool. Do you remember what year it was?
This would have been I think 95.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And his band they were young guys.
Child's Play.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, it was the band was the guys from Child's Play.
Okay. And they were so cool. They just came out and hung out, and just all of us there in the living room. I got pictures of all of us together somewhere. They're in storage somewhere, but it was really special. And then my good friend Michael Amico. I don't know if you knew Michael Amico with a band called Harpo.
Of course,
in-
I'm familiar with Harpo. Yeah.
Yeah, up in Pennsylvania. They did the circuit, the whole bit up there, Maryland.
You know that
Um,
Jack Pyre's Dirty Looks is from Harpo, right?
is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how Dirty Looks kind of got the traction that it did early on, because Jack had left Harpo and bet all the marbles on of his life on getting together with Henrik.
I like
And-
the way you put that. All the marbles.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
That a lot.
Because he had a great thing going with Harpo. Harpo was just dominating the East Coast, and they were doing covers and originals, but it wasn't going like Jack wanted it to, and so so he left that. He left Harpo, and when I joined, or when I was told that Dirty Looks was looking for a guitar player, all I knew about Dirty Looks was that Jack from Harpo had left Harpo to join this band from California, is what I was told. And I was like, that's good enough for me. I will go check it out.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
the fact that
so
the fact
Harpo-
that yeah.
So Harpo was a big
That is
deal
cool.
for me.
That is neat.
I think you
That is
told-
so cool. He goes by Mick. bass player with very long black hair. He's kind of a bigger guy, about 5'11", 6 foot tall. I don't know if you've ever met
Did you say
him.
Mickle?
Yeah, Mike Amico.
You call
Yeah.
him Mickle?
Could be. Yeah, his last name's Amico or Amico. First name's Mike, but they call him Mick.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about, but as a different name, and I didn't know he ever was in Harpo.
What a trip!
He
Yeah,
must-
he's from
He must have
Rochester.
replaced Brian Perry, who was the bass player who replaced Jack in Harpo, and then Brian Perry also played with Dirty Looks
Wow.
on like Five Easy Pieces and stuff.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
I've seen that.
yeah,
name.
yeah.
I've seen that name.
So the Harpo Dirty Looks connection is deep.
That's neat.
It's
That is really
amazing,
cool.
just the connection you guys are all talking about, it's like it's a big world, but it seems like it's a small circle. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are all connected. That's great.
Mick is right here in town. He's managing a club like right down the road here.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wow. That is
Small world.
It is.
It is. That's
it
real
is a small
small.
world,
Wow.
and it's amazing. And again, like I said, I would really love to spend more time and talk to you guys one on one, and talk
Anytime.
more, and just to talk. I mean, this is just so interesting. I think this has been a great interview. You guys talking, and Jason, I mean, you're just doing more of the interviewing, which is great. Thank you very much.
I apologize. I
No,
tend
no, 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 no,
to
No. I think
I tend to start fires. So
no, that's all right. Start all you want, brother.
Nope, it's great. It's actually great hearing, and I'm going to start checking out your podcast show.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
The last thing I'm going
I
to get
appreciate
to, and
that.
I like to just bring this up because I still think about this every time I see a Paul Lidel video, especially the one with Alibi. Because I was so excited. I went to the record store, and I had a look on my phone. It was January, I think, 24th of last year, and I found the Dirty Looks album that I always, I wanted to find it at the record store, not on. I'm just saying, not going through the internet. So our little record store in Richmond, Indiana, so I felt cool from the wire. So I had to shoot a picture and send it to Paul, and he says, the Flying V that I used to make that album is what I just made my video for Alibi.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh shit, just like, I'll never forget that. It's always stuck in my head, but I wanted to look at the date because I still saved it on my phone.
Yeah,
But
he's going to get.
oh, he's going to go get it. There it is.
yeah,
This thing,
yeah.
this thing's, it's
Good as ever.
a lot.
Yeah, but no, I just wanted to share that because that was very. You didn't have to send it back to me. You didn't have to tell me that, but that really meant a lot to me. So
Well, that's cool.
But you've got the. I bet Jason, you've got all the stuff behind you. Paul, you've got all the stuff behind you. And when we were talking about doing this interview, I've got the music room and I have all this stuff back here. And my wife said, "Well, do you have any Dirty Looks or Dangerous Toys LP? You can." I was like, "No, I don't have that." And she said, "Well, maybe you could get an autographed one and have it put up there. What do you think?" I was like, "Yeah, okay. That's not me, but I do need to get some Dangerous Toys and Dirty Looks." And I have every Dangerous Toys album. I have every Dirty Looks album.
all on cassette, or is it 8? No, an 88 track. No, I'm just kidding.
I do have cassettes and CDs both. But yes, I mean, like I said, huge fan, been following, and
Awesome.
I just
that white Flying V that Paul just held up, that's the actual guitar he cut all the tracks on Cool from the Wire with.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something about that guitar. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm a fan. Y'all don't forget, I'm a fan too. So when I'm in the room with that guitar, I'm like,
No, I mean, if you go in and you're
It's
talking
history.
like albums that you're going to have on a desert island, I definitely have Cool from the Wire, and I've got the Dangerous Toys first one. I mean, those are albums I can listen to over and over and over, never hear a bad song.
Yep.
And I always hear something different every time.
This guy dissects songs, even what you guys brought out in the 80s. He still dissects it today and tells me a story about it.
I know.
I mean, it's just, yeah.
I will go and I will listen to a song for like weeks and just dissect lyrics and instruments, and it tends to drive him a little crazy.
Well, nerd out much?
No, not much, but
I'll have to say,
Well,
it reminds me. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Since we're talking about Cool from the Wire, this had to have been going into freshman year of high school. This is like right before I started to write music. This is like when I was picking up guitar, essentially, just to learn a couple chords to write music. And I remember it started off really with AC/DC, Saxon.
Yeah.
And then my dad just started, I think he caught on. And before that, he showed me Malice. He showed me,
You guys are probably thinking I'm a horrible dad, shoving hard rock down a little
No,
girl's throat.
no, the opposite. The opposite of that.
you brought him up well.
my daughter's not much older than Ernie. I think she just turned 27, and I could play any song, and it's like, who is this? And she'll nail it every time. No, not
Wow.
me. Actually, Ernie and I were doing an interview, and we were talking, and Ernie was like, hang on a second. He's like, I just got this text. And I think you said it was the bass player from Spread Eagle had texted you, and you were like, Ernie was like, this is shit that my dad used to listen to in the car, and he's like, I love the call out stuff. And it was so great, the fact that we were talking and you get that text. It was so honest and pure, and you were just like, holy cow, I can't, hang on a minute, I got to collect myself. But it was so, you remember that?
I remember that. But so yeah, we're at Saxon, and it's just chords and whatnot that I was playing. I didn't know I wanted to become a lead guitarist till I heard an album called Diary of a Madman. But this was coming up to COVID, so retrospect, this is 2019. COVID came early 2020. That's when I listened to Diary of a Madman. That's when everything really blew up. But in terms of songwriting, nothing really happened until I got showed Cool from the Wire. It was I can always remember it was Cool from the Wire and Rock Revolution, Brittany Fox, which, same area, same time. But gosh, Cool from the Wire. I was in marching band for the couple months I was in before I ultimately freaking left. But I don't think I could have repeated Cool from the Wire enough. It was Cool from the Wire, No Brains Child, and Put a Spell on You, or gosh. And that's just something I'll never forget, because I remember everything from that point on. When I would write music, I was like, it's got to have the dropped bass, the straight bass with the clashing chords over thickness. If it wasn't for Paul, I don't know where I'd be writing music. Serious. So, and it's funny because right after that, a couple months after, my friend, he was a senior at the time, he only knew Dirty Looks because of me, because this guy listens to Cannibal Corpse and Dying Fetus and,
Nice.
just ridiculous. Good friend, great friend. But he goes, "Oh, did you see Dirty Looks is coming back together?" I'm like, and this is like months after I started listening, and I'm like, what? Because I knew about Henrik and what happened, and he was like, "Yeah, check it out." And I remember reading, and I see Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys, and I'm like, who's this? And I remember listening to Teasin' for Pleasin', and I'm like, this is something else. And it's just also something else to know that around 5 years later, I'd be freaking sitting in my bedroom talking to you guys. So it's sort of crazy how things work out, but I'm always appreciative of everything, and
Of course.
sort of surreal still. I mean, a year ago, I was talking to Paul. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous to think about, and it still hasn't sunk in. So to put that into,
I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and good people have good things that happen to them,
Mhm.
and
Well,
none of this surprises me, Ernie.
I love that. I love that sentiment and that feeling there. I just want to say real quick, me and Paul are fans of each other, and we started this discussion, this roundtable here with that anecdote that me and my buddies heard his record, and then him and his buddies somewhere heard. I think Paul got a cassette. He was up at. How'd you hear the Toys the first time, Paul? You
Oh
got
man,
a tape.
I was at a radio station.
Oh, that's right.
We were doing an interview on tour, and they handed me this big box of cassettes, and so I had a long travel day, and I was listening to all these different cassettes, and one by one, it's like, yeah, and like that, and like that, and then I got to the Toys one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is killer, and I started listening. I listened to it over and over and over, and then serendipity, we played in the same town, and I got to go to see him, and happened to just coincidentally run into Jason, and so the rest
Was I don't. This is something new that these guys will be interested in that just dawned on me. Was the cassette that you got a freebie of? Did it have the artwork, or was it like a promo, like just a white cover?
Are you talking about the original Dirty Looks? The Cool from the Wire?
no, Jason.
I'm asking Paul. Yeah.
Oh,
cassette
okay.
tape.
Sorry.
Favorite Toys cassette that I heard, I think it had the artwork because I remember
okay.
looking at all the stuff on it.
So that would have been deep summer. That would have been summer, or early summer, '89.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the fact that we are like fans of each other. I mean, we heard each other's bands and gravitated. Yeah, that's a promo.
yeah.
That's
I don't
a
know if that
promo.
was. I know it's a CD, but I didn't know if it was.
Yeah, what songs are on that?
This was Scared.
Yeah, that's a Scared
remix and
promo.
LP version.
Yeah,
So two.
yeah.
Look at that.
Two track.
Scared promo. Yeah, there's probably only a few hundred of those.
Wow.
Hold
So
on to
the what I was saying to is, to kind of just stand next to Ernie for a second and not, one up anything, is the fact that we're all fans of each other before anything else. I mean, of course, me and Paul know each other, but I don't know the rest of you guys, but the fact that we're sitting here and having this conversation of respect for the art that we've created, it's almost like we've known each other our whole lives, only
true.
because
It's
of the
crazy.
connections that we have. And it's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's not about any of that horse shit. It's about art and being a creator, and
It's also interesting to learn what a small world it is.
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
Ernie Senior's references to all these things, the harpo and and meeting Henrik and all that, and it's just wild.
It is.
Yeah.
it is.
Mm.
Again, I want to be gracious to you guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'm going to try to bring this to an end.
Take us out.
Well, yeah, take us out.
Take us out.
But I like to, Steve and I like to do something called 15 for 15, and we have 15 questions that we ask. And the theory is, it's just your first answer that comes to mind, and that's kind of it. And you don't do too much explanation. But I have a feeling that's not going to go this way, because I feel like you said, Jason, you guys, we're talking, and it's like, your guys' music. I've been listening to it for years, and I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to talk to me. And it does feel like I've known you forever, and it's just very comfortable. And again, Ernie, I want to thank you for allowing me to be your friend, allowing me to make these connections with Paul, which we kind of knew before, but more so now, and then even with Jason. So I do want to thank you for that. And again, Senior, you have raised a great kid. He's very humble. He's very gracious. Probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Paul, I have to say that about you too. The second time we've talked, we may have talked during some chats, and you're just so very gracious. I appreciate for your
Well, it's
time.
been a pleasure.
Jason, again, I want to thank you. I know that Ernie and I have talked, and it was like, I was kind of like, I don't want to keep bothering Jason. I don't want to be that guy that's annoying him, because
He mentioned that to me, and I was like, I'm waiting for him to bug me. He's
Yeah.
not bugging me. I welcome the bugs.
yeah,
Bug me. I
he
dare you to bug me.
Yeah, he told me that, but I mean, you guys have a lot better things to do than sit here and talk to us.
Yeah.
So again, I know you're
Obviously not. I do the same thing you guys do every week. So
well.
Yeah.
Maybe you do that. I don't know. I mean, that's not even comparison. So you're.
it's the same. It's the same shit.
No.
the
I mean,
same thing,
we've got. We refer to our listeners. This is the 12 pack because it's two guys, a mic, and beers, and so it's 12 beers. And we probably only have 12 listeners, so you probably have a little bit more than that.
Yeah, we grew. We started with a 6-pack. Then we got 12 of them. That's
Yeah.
listening, so.
So
Well, that's all right. Hey, just make sure that you don't forget why you started doing it.
Oh,
You'll be
no,
fine.
no, we've always been, we've always liked the music thing. We've always followed it. I mean, just from even the times we got our magazines to collecting the tapes. Then as we got older, I mean, I do a podcast show, been doing it for 10 years. So, I mean, it's fun.
Awesome.
But it's fun knowing that we're talking to a group of people that took time out for somebody like us that we thought we would never in our lives to be able to see face to face or talk to.
Yeah.
I'm going back to, when you go to arena show, I'm just saying anything back in the 80s, 90s, whatever. Thinking, man, what a hell of a show to guys we'll probably never meet, but they're on our bucket list, if that makes sense. And you guys are definitely one of them. And we got
Well,
Ernie, the kid. We
appreciate
love this
that.
kid.
yeah.
I wish I had.
Yeah,
I
man.
wish I had his talent now. I mean, but I was anyway.
I wish I had some of it as well.
Yeah, but you just, you guys, you guys, I think I speak for me and Pete. I think I speak for a few more people we talk to. It's people like you is what we're doing. I mean, we want to do something. It's like, well, I want to be involved in music. So, and that's how we do this. So,
It's like I said, it's a bucket list. I mean, like I said, so I can think off the top of my head, there's been 3 groups that I've heard, and you hear the first song and you're like, well, shit, I got to get that. Right? So I remember.
It doesn't happen as often as it used to. Isn't that too bad?
Steve and I were just talking about
But when you hear the call out, you're going, "Oh, this is my language.
yes,
No.
This is hard for me to ignore."
yes,
So everything else that comes across and hits you in the head, you're like, it just bounces right off. You know what I mean? It's like that old friend you haven't seen in 20 years. It's like that song when you're at the grocery store shopping for groceries or whatever, and the songs that they play, la la la, you're just like easy to ignore, easy. You're like, wait, what? Oh man, and like it's a Black Sabbath song that or it could be whatever, a song you hadn't heard in a long time, but it's your language. You say you hadn't heard that song in 20 years. How do you know all the words?
Yep.
How do you know what
And
year
it
it came
takes you
out?
right
How
back
do
to
you know?
that minute and that feeling that
It's the
you
smell.
had.
It's like the
Yes.
smell. That's that. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
that's why that's the reason why.
And I could think of, off the top of my head, I can remember very young, and I can remember my parents having an 8-track of Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But then they also had Kiss Love Gun. So
Awesome.
probably the first one, and that and Elvis Presley. So
You're
those were
winning.
kind of my introductions. You hear songs from those guys, and you're like I said, well, shit. But then you talk like as I get older, it was Dirty Looks. You heard that, and I can remember telling Steven, he was like, shut the fuck up about these guys. Dangerous Toys. You hear that, and you're just like, you stop, and you're like, now I got to find 12 more bucks to go buy this album, and then probably more recently, maybe Guns N' Roses. You heard a sound like that with Appetite, and you were like, this is changing music. And I say that with the most respect that Kiss did that for me younger, and then, of course, Elvis. But then as you get older, you guys were so impactful in my life that I actually stopped and said, I have got to analyze this. I have to listen to this. And every one of those albums you guys played on, every one of those songs you played on, it was almost, I got the feeling like I was being spoken to. And I want to thank you for that.
You are so
And I
welcome.
shit you not about that. That's the most honest thing I can say. And I lie to you not. I told Paul this, but favorite bands. And now I've got Ernie. I've got to go buy an album from, I guess. Another Welsh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Well, hey, new album I'm working on at the moment, so
yeah, that's
full album this
that's
time.
what you said. So if you don't mind, I would like to go through some of these questions and just kind of like give a short answer if we can. If not, I don't care. It's you guys. It's your timeline. But number one, and we're going to start with Ernie Senior, and we'll just go Ernie and then Jason and Paul. How's that? Is that okay? Because that's kind of where you're arranged on my screen.
Okay.
Is that okay? So number
All
one,
right.
first instrument you ever owned, Senior?
Guitar.
Do you remember the make, type? Just know it was a guitar.
No.
Okay,
So
good.
long ago.
That's great. Okay, Ernie,
Like that I bought.
just the one that you owned. Yeah.
It. I haven't owned anything. It's all been handed down to me. So,
Well, that's okay.
That's all right.
but I mean, drum kit.
Okay, good. Jason.
Well, I grew up around a Baldwin stand-up piano, but I was not much attracted to it. But a little story, I figured out that Joy to the World is a major scale on that piano. And I was about probably 10,
Huh?
right? But my first real instrument that was mine was a bass guitar, SG style body that my older brother and my mom chipped in and bought. And it was just a pawn shop guitar, but it was a Kay. It was a KSG bass. I think I sold it. I sold it years and years and years later for $10.
Okay.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mine would have been my drum set, but I also grew up around a piano and I think a guitar as well. Yeah, so we always had instruments in the house, but the drum set was at age 9.
Okay. This right back here, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it at? Here. That's the first guitar I ever owned, and it was one of those small acoustic folk guitars. You know, the type that had the nylon strings. You know, kind of gave you that full sound. And I had this great idea that I was going to strip that down and then add a neck into it and make it 12-string guitar. So you see how that's still sitting though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a good idea. But then again, that's why I'm here and you're there. So, second question: first record you ever bought, Ernie?
That would have to be Uncle Albert, Paul McCartney and Wings,
Oh, great album.
or Paul
Ernie?
McCartney.
Yeah, good one. Ernie,
Uh,
first album you bought?
Had to have been a Van Halen CD.
Okay, good.
If we're talking vinyl,
Vinyl, whatever, album. I say that just because that's what old people say is albums, but
I mean, I'll say it. Wheels of Steel was the
Nice.
first vinyl I got. So
Good.
Nice.
it's
Jason.
a promo.
This is a hard one because, I didn't have a job until, much, much later. But, saving lunch money, maybe things like that I bought on my own probably would have been, I mean, I want to say it was the Queen or Elton John, but that was probably, those were probably, jumping up down in the store until my parents or my brother bought something for me,
Right.
being a little brat. But probably Hotter Than Hell,
Oh, good one.
probably that I bought with my own money,
Yeah.
maybe Hotter Than Hell.
Mhm.
But I seem to recall getting like 45s, and I had
Yeah, that counts. Right.
AM radio hit songs,
Yeah.
I remember having Band on the Run. I forgot the name of that artist, but I had Band on the Run.
And on
And I
the Run,
think
wasn't that a Wings song?
Yeah, that is Wings.
Yeah.
That is Wings. It's Wings.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't probably
Right.
put the connection together because
Yeah.
it was, it was little, but
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Paul?
yeah.
I believe it was an album that I heard in a department store that was just playing on the record player there, and it was playing Iron Man by Black Sabbath. And up until then, I was like into jazz and not so much rock, and certainly I had never heard metal before, and I heard that and I was enthralled. And this album was called Heavy Metal, and it was a compilation album that had Deep Purple and Black Sabbath. It had Jimi Hendrix and just all these bands that ended up being important to me later. So it was just like this cool introduction to all that kind of music in one album.
Yeah.
Gateway drug.
Mine,
Totally.
my first album I ever bought was with my paper route money, and it was Air Supply, Lost in Love. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's some
not
great
nice.
songwriting.
Still
That's some
like
great,
That's not nice. It is
incredible
I actually got to
songwriting,
see
man.
him
And
perform a couple years
He's
ago.
so proud of this when he says this.
I
and
still got it. It's a cassette tape,
And he
though.
always says that, but okay, fine.
Sorry, I just want to put that out there. I knew you were giving
And
me
you
crap
say
for it.
that all the time too. But
You baited him, bro.
I did. That was
You
my
totally did.
You're right. Called me. Yeah. I apologize. Musician or musicians you would most like to collaborate with?
Wow.
Big Ernie, senior. I'm sorry. Anything?
Gosh.
If you like today, we're going to write a song. You could pick any musician. Who would it be?
Those two guys right there.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong there.
Paul and Jason.
Yeah,
Mm. That could probably happen.
yeah, yeah. And we're talking about the MTV. There should be a great video with that too. So, Ernie, musician. You don't have to feel obligated to say these guys, but if you don't, that would really be a dick move. But okay, go ahead.
The number one, which I'll pick another one just because it's already happened, is my father.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Smart move
Just like
there.
Jason and Paul, we have our own language. I mean, just a facial expression is a certain chord. I mean, it's ridiculous. But you guys would know. It's
Mhm.
But I would say Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Not for his lead playing, it's for his songwriting.
Okay.
Because I always was heavily struck by his melodicness, sort of same sense that you could tell he played piano before he got on guitar.
Yeah.
Because of the arpeggios he does, the chord progressions, the cliffhanger thing.
Hmm.
Always admired him based off of those features, aside from his lead playing. So yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
That's smart shopping.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Hmm.
Jason,
Hmm.
what about you? You two, the next two, I would really love to hear these because it's probably good.
It's not, it's not something. I love the question, but I don't like my answer already
God,
because
don't say it's air supply.
I don't really know. Well, I fell in love with Elton John very early age,
Yeah, that's
and
yeah.
and then it was Queen, and it's like I'm not worthy to 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 say I want to write a song with Elton. I want to write a song with Freddie Mercury and Brian May. I want to, but I would like to write a song with Alex Lifeson.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like people like that are sort of in between this. I mean, he's his
So
own man.
who
He's his own kind of guitar player.
explain
He
that to me?
doesn't really sound. Say again.
He's the guitar player for
Rush.
oh
Alex
okay.
Lifeson.
I'm sorry.
Alex
For some reason,
Lifeson.
I was getting somebody else. I'm sorry. I apologize. I
That's
was
okay.
thinking somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, probably someone like Alex Lifeson because
Yeah.
he's kind of doesn't. I mean, much like Eddie Van Halen, he was his own. Stood on his own in his own spotlight, if you will.
And
Sort of, an innovative guitar player that, sure spawned from, the likes of Led Zeppelin songs, but he was into prog rock and weird stuff and probably German classical music and things like that. But he's his rock guitar playing, like in the 70s, really sort of created prog metal. I'm saying that while I squint a little bit, but Rush kind of created prog metal, in its own, again, in its own light. And I think that's someone like him, or if not him, but there's I could give you 100 people that I would like to write with, but I'm going to go with Alex Lifeson today.
that's yeah. And do you think that they would ever tour again?
Rush? Well, it won't be Rush.
Right.
It's like when Queen tours, it's Queen featuring Adam Lambert.
Right.
I don't know if those guys would want to do that. All I hear from Geddy and Alex these days is, well, me and Geddy got up and played a Rush song with so and so on drums, and we were terrible. They joke and they say shit like that, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you real quick? I'm sorry, getting off track here, but did you ever read the book by Neil Peart? I think
No, I have not. But I
Writer, I
have.
think maybe was the name. Great book.
I have Geddy's book, so I'm in the middle of Geddy's book at the moment.
Neil Peart. That's a great book. Okay, so I apologize. I apologize.
One more person that I always wanted to write a song with is in the room right now, and I have that. That's already been checked off.
That's you can't go wrong with that.
Yep.
Again, I guess if you didn't say that, that would have been a dick move, right? But so that's good. Paul, now I guess you're all
Well, me and little Ernie have something in common then, dick move,
So now, Paul, you got to say it's got to be Jason. So
No, he doesn't.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Guy won't even give me a guitar lesson.
Yeah, well, you've got that. I mean, we're talking about dick moves, so
Yeah, see, there's Paul's dick move.
So, Paul, who would you like to collaborate with?
Well, I mean, I've wanted to be in Aerosmith since like 6th grade.
Oh,
So it would be Steven Tyler.
really?
He plays all these different instruments, and I always wonder, what kind of song that we could we could come up with, and I think it would be pretty cool. And so yeah, that, I've never met him, but I think that would be a great thing.
I want to play bass.
Yeah, that's something else I would like to sit down and talk with you about, Jason. Some of the one of my favorite bass players is Mike Watson. Is that right?
Yeah,
The original,
you said it right.
the original bass player. Dangerous Toys, right?
He's current as well.
Is he? Because I've kind of done some. I love his playing on that, and I know you play similar to that style, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we
But
both play with a pick, and
Yeah.
you know, are not afraid to use pedals and things like that. Yeah,
Great. And I would really love to circle back around to that.
Sure.
So, okay, so you're going on a tour. Who do
rhetorical.
you want
Right.
to go on a tour with?
Mm.
Who is, you could be the opener or whatever, or let's say you're co-headlining, it's you, doesn't necessarily be group A or whatever, but who do you want to play with on a tour? Senior, if you were playing right now, who would you like to go on tour with?
Oh, wow. I would say because of the nostalgia and everything involved, I would say Uriah Heep.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Ernie, you're going to
Do
go
I
on
want to make
tour.
okay? Do I want to make a
Right,
dick
Heath
move
is still
or
touring.
What's that?
Do I want to make a dick?
You're right. Heath is still around. They're still touring.
I saw them with Saxon last
Yeah,
year.
they're real good.
Freaking-
Yeah, they were awesome.
I was
Yeah.
laughing my ass off. They're
Yeah.
What did you
I mean,
say?
all respect to Uriah Heep.
Did you say, do you need a, what did you say?
I
Did you say, I don't want to make a dick move? Is that what you
Oh
said?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
do I make a
no,
dick move
Take those
or
guys out of it. But I mean, they would definitely be there. But I mean, again, I guess I'm not a dick, Ernie. But go ahead and make your decision.
oh gosh. So let's say
No
I'm like
pressure. No,
with
anybody.
call out.
Huh?
Like so I'm touring with call out. Who do I want to?
Yeah, exactly. Who do you want to go on tour with? Who's going to open? Who you going to co-headline with? Co-headline.
Gosh, you know who would be the friggin' perfect answer would be Dirty Looks, but
Well,
I mean that's a no-brainer.
you're
So-
not wrong. There's not a wrong answer here.
Like I can't really. I mean Saxon would be cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Accept would be cool.
Oh,
I mean,
the original.
yeah. Oh yeah. If Udo came back,
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe I don't know. Maybe open up for Udo. Dirk Snyder, right? Isn't that the group he's
Close.
got?
Dirk Snyder.
Dirk Snyder.
Dirk
Yeah.
Snyder. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would say that. Which, by the way, I don't know if we talked about this, but I found footage of you filling in for Accept.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
I've been lucky enough to step in and help those guys out.
I enjoyed that you picked the goodies off of like Metal Heart.
Yeah, the set list was given to me. I have the set list. Check this out.
Okay. We're talking about when he filled in for Accept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I showed my dad the video and everything.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? It's
Wow.
great. You got show
Yeah.
and tell going on too. It all started, Paul, with the Flying V.
Right, yeah.
I was going through some stuff, and I found this. This is the set list from when I
Oh yeah.
filled in. It's a lot of Mark stuff, but Russus and Wild, Living for Tonight, London Leather Boys,
Oh, that's a great song.
Midnight
that's a great album.
Mover, and this
Yeah.
riff orgy thing is a bunch of old Accept songs put into a medley.
Mhm.
And it was all really badass old Udo shit. Neon Nights, Princess of the Dawn, Fast as a Shark,
Yeah.
Metal Heart,
Yeah.
Breaker, and then Balls to the Walls was the closer. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
I remember it
Yep.
was Midnight Mover that I saw you
Yeah.
singing, and I was just like, gosh. I mean, all respect
Yeah,
to
that's-
the current singer, but
yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Jason, you're going to go. tour?
I have toured with my idols already. So I have to pick uh, uh, Rush, AC/DC, Aerosmith. I've never toured with those bands.
Who was your idols?
Yeah. Oh, well, the Toys did a tour in '91 with all on the same bill was Metal Church, Motorhead, Alice Cooper, and Judas Priest. That was just one tour. So I'm out.
Yeah, you can't really top that.
I can't. I'm out. I can't.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
All
Really.
right. Good. Paul, how about you, bud?
Well, I would have to say Van Halen because
Oh, yeah.
then then I'd get to watch them.
Yeah.
And that's always been like the big inspiration, and I have seen them before, and they're always great. So I'd have to go with Van Halen, even though now that's not happening. But
Okay. So I've got a lot more questions, but I'm going to narrow this down to maybe one, maybe two. We'll see how it goes. And I'm kind of interested to hear Jason's response on this. But is there a song or songs that you absolutely hate to play, but the fans want to hear? Ernie, I don't know.
I got to do a cover for this, of
Okay,
course.
that's great. That's fine.
It's got to be there's a lot of like well-known songs that can be chosen, but I'm gonna pick a song off the current set list with this heavy metal band you could say I'm in
Sure.
currently, and that is Roots Bloody Roots by Sepultura.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gosh, it's just the structure of this song that is just like so aggravating.
Yeah.
I
Can't
love
say
that
it,
song,
right?
but I don't have to play that song. I love that
Gosh.
song, but
Like there's good moments of it, and the end, I mean, I do my crazy stuff that people love, but the song itself, I remember learning this in the car. Oh, it's always on the car on the way to practice, and I'm just like, oh my God, what was that? Repeat. Okay, 3 minutes in, what was that? Repeat. So yeah, that was
sounds
good.
like it was might have been a tough learn for you, maybe.
It's something that I'm not inspired by, so
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not
No, I
anything else.
totally get it.
Yeah, it's just if I'm not feeling it, then it's going to be a struggle to learn, and then especially to play. So,
Yeah. It's an interesting question that you have here on this one. If you're talking Toys, that there's songs that we've never played live, so I can't answer with, oh, I hate it when we play this one or that one, because those songs never made it onto a set list. But
Do you find it irritating that if people come to see Dangerous Toys, maybe they're only wanting to hear the first album, they don't want to hear anything else off of that? Does that
no, it's annoying when they want to hear the song that is not on the set list, whichever one that may be. Like a lot of people, have their own favorite song. Well, if everyone has a different favorite song and they're all yelling it out in between songs when the band is in between songs, and you hear someone play this and hey, play that, and your mama, whatever, and it's not on the set list, I have to have a 2-second conversation with that person if it's obvious, and if they're right in front of me. Sorry, dude. Or I say, $100. Give me $100. We'll play it right now. $100. Come on. Never been played live. We're going to play it right now. You really want to hear this song that we don't ever play unrehearsed? You want to hear us try to play a song that we really kind of wrote the song and forgot about it, and you have to remember, okay, can we leave the stage and go learn it real quick for you? You see where I'm going with it? And then I get a lot of laughs when shit like that happens. But Um, you know, for a while, the song "Pissed" was not really my favorite song to play, but I don't hate the song.
It's my favorite.
I like the song. I don't
Serious.
love the song. It's just not my favorite. Another one maybe "That Dog" from the first record. It's not my favorite song on the record, but once again, it's a cool song, right? But I feel like there's other songs that are more of a vehicle for the energy that we create live, other than those two songs. So I hope my answer is interesting, but it's not necessarily like, oh, I hate playing that song live. That's not really where I'm going with that. So sorry if I cheated on
No,
the
you
question.
didn't. No, but talking about the first album, my favorite song, "Outlaw." Love that song. Can't get
Mm,
enough of that. That or "Tin
mm,
Boots." Love that
mm.
song too. So
See, now you're cooking with gas. So
yeah,
those
okay,
songs will never not be in the set list.
yeah. Or "Broken Bones."
We usually open with Outlaw. My personal favorite one from the first record, Dangerous Toys, is Bones in the Gutter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
I
Bones
just
in the
love the
Gutter is my
lyrics in
is my
this and the
favorite
whole
as well.
story that it tells.
Mm,
I love it.
mm.
It's great. I mean, it's a great fucking album. But Paul, hell, I don't even remember what the question was. What was the question? A song that you don't really like to play, but people have to hear.
Yeah, for me, if I am jamming out and you getting that energy back from the audience, it really doesn't matter to me too much what it is that I'm playing, as long as I'm seeing those smiling faces and the fists in the air and everything. If if that's happening, it really doesn't make a difference to me what song it is. So I mean that's not much of an answer, but it is the truth.
No, that's the politically correct answer, I believe. And I think
I
all
was
the
gonna,
other answers we heard were all dick moves, but
yeah.
that's me. So good job.
Well, I applaud Paul's answer. I applaud Paul's
I'm
answer.
just teasing you. I'm teasing. I'm joking with you guys. No, I think I'm just going to end it right there. I think we've taken up way more of your time than I think that we really deserve. And again, Senior, I want to thank you taking this. Again, very interesting. I would love to sit back and sit down and talk with you and Ernie again. Maybe spend some more time talking and let you guys do a lot more talking. And I apologize if we didn't handle this interview very well and give people.
It was fun. Yeah.
Jason,
Thank you.
again, as my pinnacle to have you guys here, all of them. I mean, I have talked to Paul, and I thought I was over the moon when I talked with Paul. But now I have you here, and then I have you and Paul here. So this has really made my day. And I really want to thank you for taking the time and gracing us with just sitting down and talking with us. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Again, Paul, one of the greatest guys we've ever sat down and took, one of the most nicest guy in the industry. You're so very gracious, and again, thank you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I hope maybe we can stay in touch in some crazy way. That would be
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, that'd be great. But
And thank you for having me on.
thank you, man. I do appreciate that. And it's like Ernie said when we started talking, and I was like, we kind of went through the first interview, and then Ernie and I were talking, and then an hour and a half later, he's like, "Man, I just love talking to you, and it's just you're just a good guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really want to text you or call you and be that guy that interrupts your day." And it's like, what's he want? I don't want to be that guy, but Ernie has been so gracious and kind to reach out to me quite a bit of time. So I feel like he is a good friend of mine, and I appreciate that. And
I'm
maybe
still trying to figure out how lived with you or been with you for like 45 years, and you're just okay.
Well, I don't like you. So,
Gosh.
No, we're high school or actually grade school friends, so that's where
Wow.
we go.
Wow.
Well, look, I'm just happy to be here talking to my freaking heroes.
I
Like,
know.
I'm being spoken like I am, like I have a name or something. I mean, I'm just here doing what I love.
I would
You know,
love to
I'm-
be a fly on emails. You hear the proverbial fly on a wall in a conversation. I would love to be a fly on the emails and, the little snippets you guys send. And so, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? I just think that is so cool. And it is, like I said, Paul, Jason, the fact that you take the time out and are so gracious to Ernie and, trying to show him the pitfalls here and there of what the mistakes that you've made and the things that you've learned over the years is. I know he has said many times that he is very gracious for that. And, outside of his dad, he turns to you guys for any kind of guidance or any kind of questions that he has. And I think that's great. You guys should be thanked for that. I mean, being the mentors you are, it's great. So.
I want to thank all you guys for being on today. Ernie told me about this, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, well, sure, but why me? He goes, well, you played with Pat and Paul and, and Les Dudek and all that. But, really, thank you for having me on. And thank you for letting me feel so welcome too, Jason and Paul. Pete, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name.
I'm the guy that doesn't talk much, but I'm Steve.
Steve, that's right. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, you're good.
I don't remember his name. It's been 45 years, so you're all right.
And my boy.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
for making our night, man.
It's a real pleasure to meet you, Ernie Sr., I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, ditto that.
Yeah, maybe like I said, it would be great to get one-on-one with you guys. Maybe if that works out, or if it does, great. Or maybe we can circle back around and do this again. And it's just been absolutely great. And I do thank you guys so much for this.
Yep.
This has been probably the best birthday present I've had in years. So.
That's right. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, Jason
Happy
McMasters
birthday.
saying happy birthday to me, and I've got it on recording.
That's right.
So,
Yep.
pretty good. So, we'll end this. So, for Two Guys and Mike,
And a beer?
we're going to sign off with probably the best interview I've ever done. And I appreciate you guys. Till next week or next time.
Next week?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see you.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. 5, 6.
See you next week.
Time?
Yeah. Okay.
Good time for next week.
Yeah.
See you in a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.